In this episode of The Frieze, the Yankees rotation continues to carry the team, but the Yankees are going to need to address the offensive struggles. Why Joey Gallo has got to go. Plus, Gleyber Torres is showing some really positive signs over the last few days. Is the real Gleyber back? Next, we'll take a look at the farm report and zoom in on Ken Waldichuk, who continues to dominate. And finally, assuming the Yankees do not empty the farm for Juan Soto, who are some other realistic trade possibilities? We'll take a look. All that and more next. I'm Derek, and this is The Frieze.
Good afternoon. How do y'all like that?
Swing and a miss on 2-2. Swing and a miss.
There are precisely 114 games remaining on the schedule for the Yankees, but you have to like the position that they're in. They are 33-15, they remain in first place, and the pitching has been the major reason why they have a plus 71 run differential. Garrett Cole, 4-1 with a 3.12 ERA, 10 strikeouts the other day. I don't think we've seen the best of him yet this season. Nestor Cortez, obviously pitching like a Cy Young candidate and as a probable all-star, 4-1 with a 1.70 ERA. Jamison Tyone leads the team in victories, and he's posting a 2.49 ERA, having his best season of his career so far. Luis Severino, despite picking up his first L of the season on Sunday against the Rays, is still off to a very good start, 3-1 with a 3.38 ERA, and Jordan Montgomery, despite having 0 victories, thanks in part to pretty much 0 run support, still having a fine season, 3.30 ERA. So the rotation has been the major factor in the Yankees' early success. They give the team a chance to win every single night, and I expect that to continue as long as these guys stay healthy. The offense has been up and down. There are some guys struggling. Joey Gallo, we all know, is atrocious this year. 167 average, just a 270 on-base percentage, and a 300 slugging percentage. He's essentially become useless out there, and I think he should retire from baseball. Aaron Hicks said he was going to get 30-30 this year. Only 29 home runs and 25 stolen bases to go. I think it's time to start looking at an upgrade in center field. I like the way that Miguel Andujar is swinging the bat, and he looks comfortable in left field, so I would give him the left field job and find an upgrade for center field. And home cooking. The Yankees have 19 of their next 28 games at home, where they have picked up 5 walk-off victories this season. They've been dealing with some injuries, and the offense has been slowed down quite a bit by the loss of Giancarlo Stanton and Josh Donaldson, but hopefully we'll have those guys back soon and the offense can get back to clicking. Before we dig into the player spotlights and the trade talk, let's get a quick word from our sponsor, Manscaped, and then I'll be right back. Gentlemen, we got to talk about the Manscaped Platinum Package 4.0. It is the one-stop shop for the man who deserves it all. And it comes with a whole bunch of stuff. You got the Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer. You guys know all about that. The Weed Whacker ear and nose hair trimmer. That's a fantastic tool that every guy can use. The Ultra Premium Body Wash. I actually have some of this stuff. It smells really good. Same with the 2-in-1 shampoo plus conditioner. But my favorite part of this package is the boxer shorts. These are the most comfortable boxer shorts I've ever worn, and I think you'll like them too. They're very light, very flexible, and they'll keep your boys dry. Visit manscaped.com and use the code NYY Recaps, that's all one word, and you will get 20% off and free shipping on your order of the Platinum Package 4.0, the best deal yet, and your balls will thank you. All right, it's time for an honest discussion about what Joey Gallo has given the Yankees. In 2021 with the Texas Rangers, Joey Gallo had a pretty good start. In 95 games, his OPS was well above league average at .869. He had 25 long balls and 74 walks. His average was .223, which isn't good, but it doesn't kill you. And his on-base percentage was .379, which is very respectable. The Yankees were desperate for left-handed offense, so I don't blame them for taking a flyer on Joey Gallo. But after nearly 100 games in New York, it's become clear that it's just not a good fit. In the 98 games in which he's suited up with the Yankees, his average has fallen to .162. His home runs, walks, and defense, all the strongest parts of his game, have all also fallen off. This season, he's got 5 home runs and a staggeringly bad 7 RBIs over the first 2 months of the season. He struck out 52 times in 137 plate appearances, and as hard as hitting a major league pitcher is, at this point, I would almost take a random citizen over Joey Gallo if I were drafting a team. Not only is he bad, he's boring to watch as a fan, and this is entertainment, after all. He's just frustrating. I'd rather watch the Cars for Kids commercial when his spot comes up in the order, and that song literally hurts me physically to experience. And what bothers me the most is that he doesn't believe he can get better. He recently said, "I wish I was DJ LeMahieu, but I'm playing the hand that I was dealt." He went on to say, "I don't know how to be a guy who can shoot the ball the other way and play small ball, essentially. At this level, you can't just switch. You just have to play what your strengths are." I have a question for Joey Gallo. Do you think DJ LeMahieu became one of the best hitters in the league by accident? No. He worked at it. He practiced. To simply say, "This is who I am, and I can't change," isn't good enough, and it's not a winning mindset. If you've seen the documentary The Last Dance, or you experienced that period in time in real life, you know that Michael Jordan even had to change his game, become stronger and more aggressive to get past the Pistons in the late 80s. To simply say, "This is what I am, and I'm sorry if I suck," that's not what championship players are made of, and that's not what New York expects. Joel Sherman described Joey Gallo's tenure with the Yankees perfectly in his column on Sunday. He said that the Yankees obtained Gallo for various parts that they deemed excellent and that would overcome his low average and high strikeouts, but that he, quote, "pridefully refuses to adapt to situations." And look, I'm a pretty patient fan. I give guys the benefit of the doubt. But in this humble podcaster's opinion, I've seen enough. Gallo is part of the problem. He's not part of the solution. And the longer you wait to cut bait, the more it's going to hurt your team. What can the Yankees get for Joey Gallo? I'll save you the trouble. It does not matter. Miguel Andujar can do pretty much everything that Joey Gallo can do. Full stop. And he's earned the opportunity by playing well when he's been in there. He's looked better on defense. He's swinging the bat better. Right now, Joey Gallo's roster spot is worth more than Joey Gallo. And with Giancarlo Stanton coming off of the IL on June 2nd, which is just a few days away, the Yankees are going to have a decision to make. And if they send Miguel Andujar down to the minor leagues and keep Joey Gallo in left field, fans need to make their voice heard. We've had enough. So for some odd reason, the Yankees had Memorial Day off this year. So I spent some of the day looking at numbers, and one thing that stuck out to me is that Gleyber Torres has had kind of an odd season. I looked at his first 45 games of 2021 because I remembered him being off to kind of a slow start. His average actually was better than it is this year. He hit .254. His on-base percentage was higher, .342. He just wasn't hitting for any power. This year, it seems like the power and the OPS has returned, and that's something that the Yankees will take. He's hitting .243. He's got 9 home runs, which matches his total from all of 2021, and the OPS is up to .749, although the on-base percentage has dropped down to .282. That tells me he's being a little bit more aggressive, and if you dig into his baseball savant numbers, they look pretty good. His average exit velocity is in the 95th percentile. His hard hit percentage is in the 89th percentile, and both his expected batting average and expected slugging percentages are where you'd like them to be. His walk percentage is down in the 14th percentile, and his chase rate is not very good in the 31st percentile. And it shows that his defense, which to me has passed the eye test, is not passing the StatCast test. He's just in the 23rd percentile of outs above average. But as you can see from the spray chart, he's spraying the ball all over the field. So far, I've been pretty happy with what we've gotten from Gleyber Torres, but it seems like over the last, I'd say, week or 10 days, his swing is looking a little bit better. It began with the 2-home run game against the Orioles. He's hit some balls hard that have been caught, and he hit a big home run against the Rays on Sunday. Gleyber Torres, I think, is rounding into form, and it wouldn't surprise me if he has a big homestand. You'd like to see the walks improve, and you'd like to see the actual average and actual hits improve, but right now he's hitting into some hard luck. Anybody who's been watching this team all season knows that he drills the ball up the middle on occasion, but the defense always seems to be positioned there. So I think that Gleyber Torres is one of those guys who's going to benefit when the shift rule changes next year. But let's just hope that the power resurgence continues this year and that he continues to at least pass the eye test on defense. All right, before we get to the rest of the farm report, I wanted to take a quick look at the newest member of the Major League Baseball pipeline, top 100 prospects, Ken Waldichuk. The 24-year-old left-hander, he's 6'4", 220 pounds, prototypical lefty, got kind of a funky motion, and he's having an outstanding season in the minor leagues this year between AA and now more recently AAA. Overall, he's 4-1 with a 1.38 ERA in 8 games started. That's outstanding. 62 strikeouts in 39 innings pitched and a 0.92 whip. So far, after being promoted to AAA, he's made 2 starts, he's thrown 10 in the third innings, got 16 strikeouts and a 1.74 ERA. So Ken Waldichuk is somebody you need to keep an eye on. Overall, in his minor league career, a 182 batting average against. And if you succeed at every level, eventually you're going to get a shot in the major league. So look for Ken Waldichuk later this season. All right, let's dig a little bit into the rest of the farm report. Jason Dominguez finally putting up some respectable numbers. He's been red hot in May. And overall on the season now hitting .274 with 5 home runs and 22 ribbies. His OPS is over 800 and over 1,000 for May. On base percentage coming up into the mid 300s. It's what you want. Anthony Volpe finally off the interstate. He had a 4-for-5 day this weekend. He's hitting .203 with 5 home runs, 22 ribbies, 18 stolen bases. Finally adjusting to AA pitching. I think you're going to see him put up much better numbers in the second half, though the thought of him possibly getting to AAA seems like it's a little bit further off at this point. Oswald Peraza hitting .214 with 5 home runs. His AAA numbers not outstanding, .637 OPS. He does have 11 stolen bases. You do see that the Yankees minor leaguers are aggressive on the bases. Part of that is due to the pitch clock. Everson Pereira has not regained the power from last season, but overall he's having a pretty solid year. .271, 1 home run, 9 ribbies, and again, 10 stolen bases. Austin Wells is definitely making a case to get moved up to AA. His OPS so far this year, 1.005. He's hitting .323. Very sweet left-handed swing. Also 9 stolen bases on the season for Austin Wells. Hayden Wesneski, a surprise drop into the top 10 prospects from Baseball America, is living up to the hype. He has a 2.23 ERA so far in AAA, and he's funky. He's somebody else who could get the call. We've already seen J.P. Sears come up and make a nice start. Luis Heel made a start, but he is now injured, so that opens up some spots for guys like Hayden Wesneski or the aforementioned Ken Waldichuk. Stay tuned. Have you ever noticed that Los Angeles means the Angels? So the Los Angeles Angels are technically the Angels' Angels. Mike Trout, got to watch out for him. He's actually healthy this year, hitting .310 with 13 home runs and 28 RBI so far. He leads the Angels with a 2.9 WAR. He has not stolen a bag yet this year, though, so not as much of a threat on the bases after all the injuries over the years. But again, still a very deadly player. And obviously, Shohei Ohtani, he will pitch in Game 3 of this series. He's red hot right now, just hit a couple of home runs against the Red Sox the other day. He's hitting .249 with 11 home runs and 32 ribbies. And on the mound, he's 3-3 with a 3.45 ERA. The Yankees will see Noah Syndergaard in the opening game of this series. He is 4-2 on the season, and his stuff looks pretty good. 3.08 ERA, 38 innings, 27 strikeouts, just 8 walks. So the command has been there, and he's healthy. All right, since we've already said that we need to get rid of Joey Gallo, we also know that Aaron Hicks is playing very poorly. He could find himself DFA'd. It's time to start looking at reasonable options that the Yankees could trade for. Now, we all would love to have Juan Soto, but I think it's unlikely that the Yankees will empty the farm for Soto. They might not even have enough to get Juan Soto, to be honest. So let's take a look at some of the other names that are being thrown out there. Let's start in Chicago with Ian Happ. At one point, he was a massive prospect. He's played some outfield. He can play some infield. He's kind of a versatile player, hitting .248 this year with 5 home runs and a .756 OPS. One value that he adds, he is a switch hitter. You can never get enough switch hitters if they're good. David Peralta, he's an outfielder with the Diamondbacks. He is hitting .240 with 8 home runs and a .796 OPS. He's got good opposite field power. He's also another left-handed hitter. I'm looking for guys who can hit from the left side of the plate because we have got to subtract Gallo and Hicks if we are serious about winning. Cole Calhoun from the Texas Rangers is another player to keep your eye on. He's hitting .273 this year, very respectable .798 OPS. He's a left-handed hitter. He's got a little bit of thump, 7 home runs. I think that would improve at Yankee Stadium. And Andrew Benintendi, this is a guy that I think a lot of fans are really starting to get on the hype train for. He plays left field. He's solid out there. .323 average, 2 home runs. Not a big power guy, but I think that would improve in Yankee Stadium as well. .826 OPS. And again, a left-handed hitter who's played in the AL East before. He played for Boston. He's done well at Yankee Stadium. I think he would be a solid addition. None of these players would cost you anywhere near what it would cost to get Juan Soto. And with other teams fighting over Juan Soto, the Yankees might be able to sneak in and get a good bargain for one of these guys. I expect Brian Cashman to pull the trigger over the next several weeks.
Yeah, this is Steve from Cleveland. It's very apparent that Nasty Nestor is the second ace on this staff. If he continues to have this kind of year, you may even consider him the ace.
What's up, Yankee fans? This is Josh, and I think we have to stop arguing over who's better, who's our number one pitcher, Cole or Cortez. Be thrilled we have 2 number 1 caliber pitchers and concentrate on who's our number 3.
I think for the Yanks this year, the number 1 target that, you forget about all the other targets, even if you have to empty out the whole farm system to get him, give Volpe, give Peraza, whatever you got to give, that's Juan Soto. Because if you take this lineup and if your top 5 guys in your starting lineup were LeMahieu, Judge, Soto, Stanton, Rizzo, and then you get into, Glaber and Donaldson and the rest, I mean, that lineup can hit with anybody in the league.